This is the plaintiff, Carmen Pantoja. She says her niece, the defendant, owes her for funeral costs she laid out for her brother's funeral. The woman promised her up and down she'd pay her back, but 3 months have gone by and nothing. She knows this is a delicate family situation, but she needs her $438.41, and she needs the judge's help to get it. This is the defendant, Maritza Valentine. She says as a family member of the plaintiff's, she's extremely hurt by her actions. She didn't take a penny of her money, and they never made an agreement about funeral costs. For crying out loud, this is her father they're talking about, the plaintiff's own brother, and she's shaming the family with this frivolous and petty lawsuit. She's accused of fouling up her funeral.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated and come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Carmen Pantoja,
Yes.
you are suing Maritza Valentine, your niece, for $438.41 that you say she owes you for the funeral costs of your brother.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
My brother passed away January 15th of
I'm sorry to hear that,
2015.
ladies. That's your father, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We flew out to Puerto Rico January 17th. We went to the funeral home. And the
Was
whole
he
family,
living there at the time?
Yes, he was living in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And so we made an agreement that there were some payments that needed to be made in order to finalize the funeral. And so that she can retrieve the death certificate in time. So when we get back to New York, she can be able to go to court and take the proper steps to get a hold of the money that was left in his bank account around the time that he was deceased.
Okay. Did anybody at this point know how much money was left in the bank account?
Nothing.
No, we didn't know at that point, but we found out later after when we got back to New York.
And how much was left in the bank account?
About $800.
Okay. So what happens?
So basically, we was at the funeral. A couple of payments were made amongst the family members,
Like
ranging around
pass a collection plate right there, you mean?
Well, the immediate brothers and myself and my mother, we all chipped in and put something in. Okay. I also set up a GoFundMe page for my brother. So I set it up and I, basically wrote a little paragraph stating that he passed away and we needed some funeral funds, donations from family or friends who wanted to donate. Whatever amount they want, $5, $10.
Through PayPal or use their credit card?
Yeah, the money, once I asked for the money to be deposited, it was deposited into my bank account. Now,
okay.
The thing is that when we was at the funeral, those funds weren't deposited into my bank account at the time. So I had to put it in from my own money.
Okay, so how much did you put in?
I put in $438.41.
Did you get that from GoFundMe?
No, that was my personal money to finalize the
Okay, what did you get from GoFundMe and where did it go?
They gave me $351.59.
Where did that money go?
To my bank account.
And what did you do with it?
I put it towards a funeral.
So after everybody put in their money at the funeral home, there was a payment that was left over.
Of $790.
And you offered to pay the $790.
Right.
On your credit card.
My debit.
On your debit card.
Yes.
Under the theory that what?
That when she gets a hold of the money, the money that was in his bank account, she will pay me back the portion that I paid.
Okay.
To finalize the funeral.
All right,
the cremation.
but then after that, you get the 300 and something from GoFundMe, which explains why you're only suing for $438.41.
Right.
All right, now when you get back to New York, what happens?
So I basically didn't bother her for almost 3 months because she's my niece. I know she's mourning. The whole family was still mourning. We still are.
Was he sick? Was it sudden?
He passed away from several things. One of them was suicide attempt. He had sepsis, he had pneumonia, and basically like lung failure and all of that, So, but it was a cocktail of pills that he took, so that led to his death. So we got to New York and I didn't want to bother her. I finally reached out to her maybe like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and I told her, you know, let's do what we have to do. And she mentioned to me that she needed $120 extra to translate the death certificate into English.
Because the death certificate was in Spanish?
Yes.
And how did you find out that you needed it to be?
I went to the court myself and tried to do the whole process myself and pay off the, you know, everything. And
pay off
try to get
everything,
access.
as in what? What do you mean by pay off everything?
Basically try to get access to his account, basically.
In order to do what with it?
In order to give her back the money.
When she puts $800 on her credit card, is the plan that, in fact, if he has money, it will, you know, the first thing that'll happen is that it goes to reimburse her?
Yeah, but when she did do that, she told us, don't worry about it. I have it. And she told us, like, basically, she can even make that money in one day. She said it. Just
Wait,
like that.
So how can, okay, but hold on. Mm-hmm. I asked you whether the plan was to pay her back, and you said yes, but she said don't worry, and she makes a lot of money? What does that mean?
No,
either you have an obligation to pay it back or you don't.
From the beginning, we never really had, like, much of an agreement. We did try to get the money.
You just said that, yes, we were supposed to get to the bank account.
We were trying to get the money from his account.
We were trying to get to the bank accounts to get the money to pay her back, to pay the debts. What debts? Well, like pay her back. Okay. So now you guys get to New York, and then you finally get access to the account. How?
Well, I did go to the courthouse, and I told them basically I needed access to the account. Oh. And they told me I needed $120 to translate the paper into English.
And did you have the $120?
No.
Did you ask her for it?
No.
Did you mention it to her?
I mean, I mentioned it to her, but...
And did she offer to cover that too, and then you pay her back?
She offered to cover it, and I told her I didn't want her to cover it.
What difference does it make? Once you go into the bank account, you're going to pay her back like in the same 24 hours. So what difference would it make?
Well, I didn't want to keep her, giving her, you know, letting her pay everything off.
So, if it's, you know, if you're like, well, I wanted to wait until I could pay the $120. That's very nice, mm-hmm. except for that in the meantime, she doesn't get her $400 and something. Mm-hmm. So if you just let her do what she offered, which is add the $120 to the tab, then you could go into the account, pay her off, and then keep whatever's left. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. There had to be a reason. What was the real reason?
I mean, I didn't want to touch that money from the beginning, you know.
Okay, have you since taken the money out?
No, I have nothing to do with it. My grandma's the one that has the bank card with her.
Oh, so is your grandmother taking all the money out?
No, nobody has touched it yet. Nobody has touched it at all yet.
Okay, why are we here? This is your aunt. Your father passed away. She obviously loves you and loved him. She put forth all this money. She waited 3 months. Why are we here? I don't get it. You have them. All you have to do is take up her offer to have her pay for the translation and take care of business. So what happened? What did she say or do that clicked something in your head that made you feel like, no, I'm not doing it?
Well, she did call my manager and told her about the situation. And she threatened me, basically telling me she's going to take me to court.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen until there's 1,000 other attempts to get you to just do what you have to do. Because clearly, by reading the text, show me those texts. You know the text that you sent, right? Back and forth? Show me the text, please.
I have it.
Hold on, give it to my bailiff.
Just stay right there. All right, just step right back for me, please.
Let me see both. That way I can see if anybody deleted it.
I'm turning my phone on, it was off.
Got it. So you say... let's go next Wednesday. We'll do whatever we need to do, and then I'm cutting you loose. Blood is thicker than water, and I'm going through a tough time already, and that you should be at least considerate. But like I said, we'll get this done next Wednesday, and that's it. She mentions to you, look, I've been considerate for 3 months, Steffi, but okay, we'll go Wednesday. I'll have the 120 with me to translate it. Okay, fine, you say. If you're considerate, you wouldn't have called my job, taking it to the next level. Why did you call her job?
She mentioned to me several times that she was unable to take a day off during the weekday because she has a certain certificate that she needs to go to work Monday through Friday, and her only day off was on Saturday. And from what she told me, on Saturday we can't do the paperwork in the court. We have to go Monday through Friday. So that day that I got in contact with her was a Wednesday. So when I called her job was to explain to the manager the situation that her father passed away, and if it's possible that they can give her a day off during the weekday so that we can finish, taking care of this matter. And the manager tells me, well, she's off today. And I'm thinking, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Why didn't she call me at 7 a.m. and said, hey, aunt, let's go to court and do what we have to do?
This is so we have a text where we're taking off next Wednesday. That's it. I'm cutting you off after that.
Right.
You explain. Look, I just want to make sure they're considering the fact that your dad passed away and there's some things needed to be taken care of. I'm not going back and forth with you anymore on this. Just call me Tuesday. We'll get together Wednesday. I'll see you then. And you text back. You know what? I changed my mind. You want to threaten about taking me to court? Go ahead. You have no proof. And if you come to my job, I'm putting an order of protection against you. Douglas, when someone says you have no proof, what goes through your mind?
Depends on who I am, but that is a ton of proof.
That's just the very saying of it. The very saying, nanny, nanny, boo, boo, you have no proof, shows me what the deal was. I don't understand you. Why are you willing? You know, maybe in your mind, you think, oh, she's putting money before our relationship. But I have to tell you, from the outside looking in, it looks like you're putting money before the relationship. Or it's not even money because you haven't even accessed the account. I'm not sure what you're doing.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Okay, this is a tough question. What's the protocol when somebody dies and there's no surviving spouse? Who pays? I mean, if there are like 3 siblings, are they all legally required to pay a third, or is there no protocol?
I think that is, it's a good question. I think that each sibling should pay 1/3, I think.
And if they don't, can you sue them for their third?
Yeah, I think that's the right protocol.
What do you think?
Honestly, I don't think there is a protocol. I think it's just voluntary.
So if you're a good guy, you pay, and if you don't, nobody can do anything to you.
I believe that if there's no spouse, then you should go to the children, and every child should have to pay an equal share.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
I don't know why you think it's so unreasonable that she wants to get reimbursed like the plan was. It's obviously
And
the plan.
she also mentioned
based on
to
your
me-
text. I just don't get it. There has to be a reason. What is the reason? Am I missing something?
Well, I just didn't want to make her put in the 120. You know, she's already put in enough money, and I felt bad. Even if it takes a couple of months.
Is it that there's no agreement and she needs to get paid, or you feel bad because she paid so much and I want to get...
No, from the beginning, there was
you know
never
what,
an
Maritza,
agreement.
I've tried to make sense of you, but I can't. So I got to tell you something. Life is short. It's short.
Thank you.
How old are you?
20.
Oh, you're so young. Have you in the past, you kind of look like, have you in the past had a good relationship with your aunt?
Yes.
Always?
Always.
Do you want to continue to have a good relationship with your aunt, or you really want to cut her off over something where I am telling you you're 100% dead wrong? Let it gel, let it soak in, let it marinate in your head. Think about it for a few weeks. But I am telling you, not just legally speaking, I think morally speaking, you're also wrong. She was trying to make it easier for you, and you were trying to make it hard for her. You're not right. I don't know who in your family's telling you you're right. You're not right, okay? But I just don't get how you can write off someone who you've always had a good relationship with over this. Maybe you're shocked that she took you to court, but maybe she's shocked that you're treating her like this. When are your actions the reason for the breakup between you two? When is it not her? When is it you? You know? You've already lost a father. You want to lose your aunt? My verdict in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $438.41. Get this taken care of, okay? We're going to make a plan now with Officer McIntosh when you folks go back there. Good luck.
With that, the defendant comes out here, stand right next to me. Tell me what's going through your mind. You just heard the judge pouring out her heart to you.
Well, nothing is going through my mind. I just know what's going to happen, and I know what I need to get done. That's it.
Share that with us. What?
I just know who's family and who's not, and that's it. If real family member wouldn't, you know, send you to court over something so small.
Mm-hmm. What's more important, the money or the relationship with your aunt and the rest of you?
Family is obviously more important, but in this case, I don't feel like it is. So, because I wouldn't be here, you know.
Mm-hmm. You want to stand your ground like that? You
Yes.
think that's the right thing for you to do?
Yes.
All right, right around the corner this way. All right, so step on out here. All right, you're standing right there. You're listening to her saying that.
Listen, you know, she's 20 years old. She's going to do what she wants to do in her mind. Maybe she's acting a little naive. I have no hard feelings against her, you know. I love her to death. She's my niece.
You wouldn't give up on her, right?
I love her. She's my niece. I would never give up on her. I didn't give up on her dad. So rest in peace, Jay. I love you.
Harvey?
Okay, just a word to the wise. When there is a death, you have to be especially clear with relatives on what each obligation is for each relative. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.